So much drama in the LBC. Sometimes it's hard being Snoop D-O-double-G. But somehow, some way, keep coming up with every single day. May I? Oh man. Let's see here. All right, guys. All right. What's up, people? It's a little framework's a little whack right now, bro. Framework's a little whack. Frames per second. A little whack right now. How everybody doing? How you guys doing today? I know the Spurs lost. Oh wait, I should probably post. Hold on. I completely forgot. We should probably let people know what's going on, right? It only makes sense. I'm gonna mute my mic because I gotta put music to it and I don't want to get copyrighted. Hold on. All right, we're back. Woo! All right. All right, guys. I feel like my chat is a little extra, like Sochan hatery because of how much I stick up for him. Ooh. Unfortunately, Sochan is one of those players you got to kind of let ride, and you also have to put him in his natural position more often than not. Not all the time, but too often times than not, because of his versatility, the Spurs put him out of position. Because of his versatility, he's out of position quite often. But the fact of the matter is, he's not a better center than he is power forward. He's not a better small forward than he is power forward. He's not a better facilitator than he is as just a power forward. Point guard facilitator, that is. Like, he's not better. He can do those things on occasion, but that's not what he's good at. And unfortunately, Mitch Johnson has not really put him in the best position to thrive, nor have he really gotten many minutes at all this season. So, and I would even go as far as say we've seen a much better version of Sochan before, and now he has even better shooting. So I don't know. Starting to sound like Cope. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I do not care. I'm being honest with you. Exactly. Yeah, you'd rather put Sochan at small forward than center if the matchup makes sense, because Sochan at center just doesn't work that well, right? Like the one thing, his one strength. Well, actually, we'll wait. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Hold on. I'm gonna go to the game. There's ESPN. All right. Let me see if this works, because you know sometimes the stuff is acting up. Oh, it did work. Cool. All right. Nice. Should we just dive straight into it? So I see quite a few Spurs fans upset in the chat. And I understand. I don't like losing games either. I like to win every game. And this is one of those situations where, you know, I would have liked to win this one, but the Spurs are doing better than I thought, because I thought we were going to lose this one and the Nuggets one. But obviously we won the Nuggets one, and this one things just went astray a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of finger pointing. So we'll talk about it, because it sounds like you guys really want me to talk about Sochan, which it's fine. I don't care. Yeah, we can talk about Sochan, right? Kind of an elephant in the room, if you will, because of yeah, obviously his stats aren't looking the best. Now, before we do that, really quick, big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this segment. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports at all, head on over to Sleeper, link in the description box. You'll get 100% match up to $100 if you use the promo code CLAN. And it's super simple, man. You just scroll through for the day, say, I think this player have less than 5 points. I think this player have more than 13, which that's Nick Claxton. I'm going less, actually. And yeah, you put that all together, you can make yourself some money, man. So go check it out, see if you like it. Daily fantasy sports. You support the sponsor, you support the channel. At the very least, go download the app and show them that you're paying attention. All right. So San Antonio Spurs. We kind of talk about them sometimes, you know? I don't know if you guys knew that. But sometimes we talk about them. So the San Antonio Spurs lose against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which I'm not that shocked. You know, I expected us to lose the last couple, so I'm not saying it's fine, but it is what it is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and call this out. All right, let me go ahead and call this out, because this is the elephant in the room. This is the one thing that I get hate for all the time, but I want to bring this up, because I want to talk about everybody, but I'm just going to bring it up because everyone's going to be asking me about Sochan. This is the thing, and this is my honest belief on what's going on here. I truly do believe that we're constantly putting him out of position, and it doesn't work. The one strength of Sochan, because if you can say, oh, he's trash, he's garbage, if you pay attention to the type of player he is and how Popovich used him in particular, and how he had some really good showings throughout his career and some really great defensive showings and all that, one thing that he really thrives off of is the combination of his size and his speed, okay? And when you place him into the center position, speed doesn't matter as much anymore, and you definitely don't have a size advantage. What makes Sochan impressive is when you can put him at power forward and use him in that way, and then he has those two things that he can bank on, right? Then he can really cause, I'm not going to say like crazy havoc, but pretty good havoc. And it's been like this since day one, but he's not a defensive, what am I trying to say? Like defensive playmaker necessarily, or like a turnover machine. He just plays very fundamental, good defense, and he's a type of player that makes it very hard on you to score. Very difficult. Like the defense he was playing on Randall when he got a chance to was pretty good. Randall made one of the shots, but it was pretty good. But overall, he just makes it hard on you. But right now, I feel like Mitch Johnson isn't really utilizing Sochan to the best he could, and you just kind of have him out there as just a center, right? And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And we know it doesn't work because it didn't work last season, you know? And because he's versatile, he can do so many different things. You put him in these positions, but this should literally be on occasion. It should literally be only when you absolutely have to, or the matchup calls for it, where we can go small ball. But right now, it just doesn't work that well. It just doesn't. So that's just how I feel. as far as Sochan's concerned, it is what it is. He didn't get too many opportunities to like score or anything like that, but they just got him in a weird position right now. And we just kind of throw him out there, and it seems like you're playing him because I don't know. It doesn't really seem like Mitch Johnson is utilizing him or taking advantage of his strengths at all. And this is one of the reasons why I really do believe, now obviously when Wemby back is going to help a lot, but I don't even know if we'll do it. But I really do believe that Sochan plays better when he's next to a Wemby, because Wemby is one that can see over the defenses. He catches those cuts when Sochan makes them. They play off each other fairly well. It's a good little defensive duo there, and it's just a nice matchup to have up there. And right now, Sochan just hasn't really been in a position to really show anything. He hasn't been able to get in a rhythm or anything really, So he's had a few games where it's been good, but I don't know. Last game, I was cool. I didn't care about the stats at all. I feel like everything that he did, it did help in the third quarter, the small things. But overall, guys, I really do just believe it comes down to not necessarily utilizing him correctly. Just is what it is. So hopefully that changes, and as time goes on. But it's very frustrating, especially since Sochan's in a year where you're going to need, in the front office, I know for sure, wants to see more. They want him out there, right? So you can make a decision on, how much money you're going to throw that way. So we'll see. But I'll tell you this right now. If you don't think that he is good or whatever, I just completely disagree with you. And I'm going to always look like the crazy one when you have showings where, like, the Spurs lose, and then you look at the stats and it's like 12 minutes, a couple points, and you're like, oh, he's not that good. I don't think that that's the case at all, right? Yeah, and that's all I'll say on that. Anyways, let's see. Sochan's value extends beyond basic stats. Yeah, you don't just see it on the box score. He's a good player. It's just they're not using him. I don't know what else to tell you guys. They just don't use him. It just is what it is. Now, this game in particular, I'm not saying that the Spurs were going to win it, but I am going to say that we had a legitimate shot to win this game. And there was a stretch in the fourth quarter in which I don't know why, for the life of me, Mitch Johnson went with that lineup. But it was an atrocious lineup that he put out there, and the Minnesota Timberwolves were able to just get to the rim at will, just do whatever they want. We didn't have a center out there. I didn't know what we were doing. It was very silly, and it allowed them to go on a very long stretch with what we had out there. So Spurs should have won. I think we should. I won't say should have, but I think Spurs could have won that one, and no reason really for that not to be the case, but it is what it is. Anyways, so the starting lineup, pretty atrocious. Pretty atrocious. How the heck was Champagnie a negative 19? I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice he was a negative 19. He was a negative 19. Keldon was a negative 13. Sochan was a negative 4. Yeah, a lot of negatives in there. I don't think it really means much in this one. Like, that wasn't Keldon's fault at all. So, by the way, Keldon, I think the last game was like his best game in my opinion. But this game, he was really good. Keldon was really good. The one thing I liked about Keldon, which this is why you could really take advantage. So this is the funny thing. So before the game started, I ended up tweeting out that I thought that our point guards and power forward would do fairly well. And I said I thought Sochan would have a big game because I'm like, oh, he's a power forward. But I didn't take into account that we've constantly been putting him at center, so that's not the case. Now, as far as Keldon, they did put him at power forward quite often. And also, one thing I really liked is that Keldon Johnson in the Spurs, this is the Spurs overall, kept going towards the advantages. And that was something they were not doing before. So when Mike Conley was out there, they went at him every single play. Every single play they went at Mike Conley. They forced the Timberwolves to take Mike Conley out of the game because they kept going at him. Whether if Mike Conley was on Keldon, oh, that's barbecue chicken, right? If like literally anybody, they would just go at him. If Fox, he's going at him. And that was really nice to see that, because I don't think the Spurs throughout the season have been really taking advantage of those advantages, the very obvious ones. Like we've had many games where guys are in foul trouble and we don't go with them. like it'll be a player that has 5 fouls for like 2 whole quarters and we did not go with them at all. But this one, it seemed like the Spurs made a true effort to go with those advantages, go towards those advantages. So that was really good. So that's why Keldon had such a good game, a very efficient game, is because they were going at Mike Conley and the little guys, like Dante and all them. So that was really nice to see. What other takeaways I got? Devin Vassell, yeah, you got to do better than 1 for 19. Like that's kind of what we're banking on, is for you to hit those threes. Most importantly, honestly, that's like his one primary job there. Now going 10 for 20 is not bad. You know, it's 50%, but we definitely needed more. He definitely needed to shoot more or hit more threes. It took him forever. I don't think he hit a 3 until the 4th quarter. So it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So our 3-point shooting was quite abysmal, and they just completely destroyed us in that category. So as you guys know, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Spurs are one of the worst teams as far as perimeter defense, which you wouldn't think that would be the case, but it has not been fixed, right? And I'm sorry, like when you have Julian Champagnie, Jeremy Sochan, I know Castle hasn't been playing, but we were bad even when Castle was there. Carter Bryant, right? And even with Keldon playing better defense this season, they're not locked down by any stretch of the imagination, but he takes advantage of certain opportunities. Like he had one steal in here that was really impressive. Unfortunately, he ended up turning it over right after, but it wasn't really his fault. It kind of creeped up on him. But anyways, but when you have like really Devin Vassell, right? When you have pretty good defenders, there's no reason you should be one of the worst in the league at perimeter defense. And I think a lot of it does come down to the fact that Mitch Johnson just doesn't stick with stuff. He goes with like what's good on paper, right? He doesn't really adjust in the middle of a game to say, hey, this guy is kind of hot right now, or we really need this guy here regardless of the amount of points that they have right now, right? Like Carter Bryant could have very well played more than 15 minutes in this game, mind you. Like his defense was pretty doggone good. Sochan, the same thing. Like both of those guys could have played more just for our defense. But he didn't do it. So Mitch interview. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at that. But just overall, you know, that shouldn't be the case. But, you know, it really showed its ugly head this game, because the Spurs shot 24%. If they would have shot better from 3, maybe we've been able to keep up. But this is 2 games now in which we had a team score over 120. Hold on, let me make sure. Because I don't feel like that's been the case this season. Like 120-point games. Let's see. So we got, yeah, last game, Denver 136. And a couple games, we had 126 from Atlanta. Doesn't happen that often that a team gets to 120 on us. Golden State, and yeah, the season, it didn't happen until we went against Golden State, which a team put 120 on our head. So, oh wait, no, I'm stupid. It happened with Phoenix, 130. But it rarely happens. That's all I'm trying to say. It rarely happens. So, and it came from poor perimeter defense. Now, some of it definitely was communication, where the communication is just off and misreads or whatnot. But for the most part, I really don't see any excuse for that being the case. You shouldn't be one of the worst at that. You know, you just shouldn't. You got too many defenders to not figure that out. I know that our defensive scheme has been kind of tailored for Wemby, obviously, where you can play very aggressive and then you tunnel them to Wemby, and that's kind of what we've been doing. But you got to figure something out, man. You got too many good defenders to not at least just put the best guys out there. Harrison Barnes, for instance, this is one of those occasions, man. Harrison Barnes, you guys can say what you want. He shouldn't have got 30 minutes this game. All right? He shouldn't have got 30 minutes this game. They were attacking him left and right. They were trying to take advantage of him from the beginning, by the way. I mean, Randall went at Harrison Barnes like 4 times in a row. Like, he was nonstop going at Harrison Barnes. And Harrison Barnes isn't a poor defender, but he can be a liability in certain games if his shots aren't flowing. And this is one of those games where if his shots ain't going, then he's a little bit of a liability on the defensive end. And that's what kind of showed his ugly head. No real reason for Harrison Barnes to have 30 minutes in this game. So it's just unfortunate because I don't think that the Spurs have enough, I just don't think we have enough flexibility right now. And even though we have so much depth, we just don't have flexibility in which it seems like we're looking at a stat sheet and just saying, okay, this is the player that's doing this player is doing that, right? Like 3 players in 20s, everyone else was trash. And I don't know if anybody else was going to bring that up or any of you guys in the chat brought this up, but I know that we focus in on Sochan a lot just because you guys know I love Sochan and I think he's a good player. But the team is, and I'm not saying they're trash as in like they play really poorly or nothing. I just mean trash as in like the coaching staff need to figure this out. Because how the heck does De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, and Keldon all get in the 20s, which, mind you, big chunk of De'Aaron Fox and Keldon Johnson getting their points was from taking advantage of, the smaller players on the Timberwolves, right? Wasn't anything special, I thought, that the Spurs were doing. But outside of that, this is just inexcusable, right? This isn't just a team playing trash. This is them leaning on certain players, getting comfortable and just solely leaning on them because no one took any shots. Harrison Barnes took 9. Okay. He took 9. Okay. Champagnie took 6. Okay. How the heck does Cornette only get 1 point or 1 shot? I know he went to the free throw line, but he gets 1 shot. Lindy Waters gets 1 shot. Sochan gets 2 shots. And then Garcia barely played. Carter Bryant gets one shot. Oh, by the way, Dylan Harper was great too. I forgot to mention that. Did I mention that? He took advantage of the smaller Timberwolves too. But he's so strong that he even took advantage of some of the stronger players on their team as well. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, I don't have a lot to complain about. I know it sounds like I'm complaining and I'm crying. I actually don't have a lot to complain about. This is one of those games I didn't think that we would win. And I also just think, I think coaching just overall this season has kind of let us down in certain moments. I feel like this might have been one of them. So, yeah, I think the Spurs really need to figure out their perimeter defense issue. Because I don't know how that's such an issue when you have, even without Castle, you have pretty good defenders. I'm really nervous for when Castle does return because I do not want us to go back to hero ball. Because while in the regular season you'll get a few games in here and wins, and Castle got his points, even though he's a poor outside shooter, but he gets his points in the paint. Wemby, maybe he saves you. But when you get to the playoffs, which Spurs are a playoff team, and when you get to the playoffs, that is not going to be the case. You are not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to play hero ball. You'll be kicked the first round. But yeah, just not enough. Adjusting. And then the lineups were pretty awful in the fourth in particular. I don't know what we were doing in the fourth quarter. Overall, at the end, not enough adjustments from coach cost us the game. Yeah. Clan, would you rather the Spurs lose by playing team ball than win with one guy taking over? Would I rather lose team ball or one guy taking over? I mean, I'll take the win no matter what. But I do think that you get more benefit out of team ball in the long haul than just leaning on one player to save you. Because unfortunately, as much as I love Wemby, this ain't an 0-3 Duncan situation where he's just going to be able to put the team on his back and just kill offensively all throughout the playoffs and win us a championship. Like that, he is not at that point with his offensive game yet where he can do that. But overall, I do think that it helps us in the longer run to make sure that we play team ball. By the way, you play team ball, you'll win more anyways. Now, you play the hot hand, you know what I mean? You play the hot hand. But, I mean, if it's a game and on occasion one guy saves you, I mean, that happens, right? Like, if I take the San Antonio Spurs back in 2014, 2015 or whatnot, 2016, like, they played team ball, but sometimes it was just Kawhi just taking over, right? And that's okay. That happens. Sometimes it's not always going to work if the opponent's defense is just so good to the point where, your ball movement is just more stagnated than normal and you need to open things up. Then, yeah, you do lean on one player. Or you lean on a couple players. But, yeah, I don't think the Spurs are at that place right now. But there's no reason for no one to take a shot but a few guys. Like, there's really no reason for it. I like that we were taking advantage of the mismatches, right? But, I mean, we should have looked in the mirror a little bit and say, hey, we kind of need to open things up a little bit because they were just outscoring us like crazy, bro. Just outscoring us like crazy. 24% from three is wild. And them shooting nearly 50% from three is so bad. Harper's going to be a star? Oh, for sure. I've been said that. Yeah. Going to be a stud? He's not going to be a stud. He's going to be a star. Harper's a star caliber player. Any other draft other than the Wemby one, he's number one overall pick. Like, so many drafts, he would just been the number one overall pick. We just didn't make threes. We played team ball. A little bit. It was mostly hero ball, though. Nobody took shots, man. Harper isn't just a star, man. Look, all NBA in the future. Yeah, he's going to be good. He's going to be really good. He's like you guys say, he's a stud. He's a stud. But, yeah, the Spurs going to have to figure this out. I keep saying this. I'll keep emphasizing it. This is just what I believe. I truly think that you need to put Sochan in this. Not yet. Maybe till when Wemby's there. It's not going to happen, by the way. Me saying it's not going to happen because I don't believe Mitch Johnson's going to do it. But I think he's a starter. I think he should start next to Wemby. Bring that defense. He plays well off of Wemby. He needs a guy like Wemby. He loves those high lows. That's what you do. And I think that the offense will look a little bit more smooth because there's no reason not to be able to utilize the strengths here. It's just about utilizing what's on your roster, man. It's just about utilizing what's on your roster. I'm completely okay. And if this continues, I'll keep saying it. I'm completely okay with sitting back and saying, hey, maybe I was wrong about whether or not Keldon Johnson can fit on the team because they've been doing a good job of finding where he fits, right? Utilizing his strengths. But I can't say the same for some of the other players. I can't say it for Sochan, which is really inexcusable because we've seen him be able to be used in better ways in the past. Haven't really got to see it with Carter Bryant. It seems like it's very obvious they're doing it with Dylan Harper. But just overall, it's like you gotta figure that out, man. You gotta utilize them. Utilize your team strengths. If you guys want to sit here and tell me like, oh, he's trash, get him out of here, that's fine. That's fine for you to say that. But at the same time, I do think that you got to utilize your team strengths here. And I don't really think they're doing it. And by the way, mind you, this game wasn't like a horrible game. Bro, even yet and still, it wasn't a horrible game from Sochan. Like defensively, he was still fine. He was doing a fine job. But we just don't stick to stuff. I don't know, what was that on me? That cat here? Anyways, you're in denial, Clan. Well, you're gonna feel that way when the Spurs lose a game, right? That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we'll be okay. Wasn't expecting us to win this one. The same issues that I've had with the Spurs were still here. You know, I wasn't expecting that to change, but it is what it is. We'll be all right. We'll be okay. I don't know when we'll have Wemby back. That's a good question, though. He should be. Is it today the 30th? He would have got reevaluated yesterday, but I haven't heard anything recently. So, all right. You guys said. All right, guys. All right. Okay. I feel like a broken record at this point when I talk about Mitch Johnson and what I'm upset about. And I don't know, man. And sometimes the lineups are just really weird. Sometimes we don't have good in-game adjustments. Sometimes we allow teams to go on massive runs and not call a timeout. We treat timeouts as if, you know, they transfer over into the next game, which I do think that we've gotten better at that, but just overall, just don't really understand what we're doing sometimes. Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed with this game, but I expect us to lose it. I didn't expect to win this one going in. I was happy when we had our lead, because I was like, okay, we're giving them a fight, but it is what it is. All right, before we talk about that, big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Really simple. You just go to the NBA section. Well, you go to the middle part that's picks, and then you go over to the NBA section, and yeah, you just make your picks, man, for the day. Like, you think this player have more or less than 7 assists / rebounds, you know, just some good stuff there. So if you guys are interested, please go check it out. Link in the description box. Get a 100% match up to $100. Use promo code CLAN. Okay, so you support the sponsors, which means you support cameras this way. I'm used to the camera being over here. I'm still, after all this time, I'm still getting used to it. You support the channel when you support the sponsors. All right, let's take a look at what Mitch Johnson had to say. We're all very upset. I'm upset. I wanted us to win. I'm not that upset, but I did want us to win this one. It's okay. Oh my God, that camera's clean, bro. I need that camera.
Fourth quarter, how do you think Minnesota was able to generate the 3-point looks that they got?
I think starting the third quarter, I thought our activity, resistance, togetherness defensively was really poor. We turned them over, I believe, 0 times in the third quarter. And so we just didn't have that level of presence on or off the basketball. And they're a really good team. And then they do start making shots, and now, you know, it's going to be tough to try to slow that down. So I think it started before that. They obviously got hot in the fourth quarter. Our offense went bad in the fourth quarter, so that probably exacerbated some of that. And
we had, mind you, there were so many bad lineups out there. I just want to throw that out there. It was so many bad lineups.
Allowed the runs to happen quicker, but I thought the second half was actually pretty poor. It just showed itself more in the fourth.
Offensively, you said it went bad. What areas are just...
Is it just me? Is our defense bad? Our guys feel like they're all over the place defensively? Well, that's the thing. We've had the way that we've been playing players is so inconsistent. They can't really find cohesion, right? Like, it's so hard because on defense you have to communicate, right? You have to let your fellow brethren know what you're doing, and they just have not been able to communicate that well. And I think it's because the minutes on what we're doing is all over the place sometimes, you know. Like, Carter Bryant is a very good defender, but at times he looked lost. That shouldn't be the case. That's the one thing that he's good at. But when you play him one game 2 minutes, then you play another game 12 minutes, then you play another game no minutes. It's like, yes, utilize our depth always, you know? And I know sometimes things have changed here and there, but there hasn't been really any like concrete games where I watched and I said, oh yeah, you cannot play this guy in this situation. You know how many games I've seen where Harrison Barnes goes off and yeah, keep him in, he's doing great. And then games where he's being taken advantage of. They're going at him every single play, and we don't adjust. We don't say, okay, yes, put in Sochan, or okay, let's put in Carter Bryant. We don't do it. We don't do it, right? It's just weird lineups, and you know, sometimes the guys can't really find cohesion. So yes, our defense, especially on the perimeter where you really need to communicate, has been bad. It's been very bad. I agree. I think we're one of the worst in the league as far as perimeter defense.
Honestly, I think it was even from the first half in terms of we missed a lot of good shots, and I think that carried our energy and our presence and our mojo way too much. We had 2 offensive rebounds in the second half. We had 25 missed threes. We had 7 offensive rebounds for the whole game.
We had 2 offensive rebounds in the second half. Good guys.
So you're talking about opportunity to get more possessions there, and we didn't turn them over. And so you're playing against a lot of set defenses. We got on our heels against the zone, didn't make some plays that were there, overthought it, held onto the ball, played against the clock. A variety of things, but just I think the biggest thing really disappointing was the activity and presence defensively, and then offensively just allowing the outcome to drive our energy and confidence.
Did you like the minutes you got of Dylan tonight?
I feel like this is the most critical Mitch Johnson has ever been towards the team. I think it's a good thing, but good God, this is like, yeah. I think this is the most critical he's been towards the team at all. I'm still not over. I know some people like got onto me for this, but I'm still not over, and I don't understand this. I'm still not over the statement in which I think Wemby and Keldon Johnson fouled out, and he was praising them for continuing to play even though they were in foul trouble. I do not understand that. If you're in foul trouble and the team needs you, you should play a little bit more conservative. Like you're Wembanyama. You know, the foul that he got was so silly. I'm still not over him coming out and saying like that was a good thing. I don't understand that. I mean, I know I'm not a coach in the NBA, and Mitch Johnson knows way more than any of us, you know, as far as basketball knowledge. Like I'm not even gonna pretend like I know more than him. But that's one of those situations where I did not understand that. I did not get that at all. Yeah, I don't know. Can you admit Sochan is buns these last few games? I'll admit that Sochan's stats have not been very impressive. I'll say that. But as I said last game, I thought that it was some really key plays in that third quarter that really helped us get on that run, in which he gave some really hard screens that gave Champagnie the opportunity to go to the line. And when he had 4 shots, a 4-point play. Because Murray has such a hard time getting around the screen. And then it was another one that he did the same thing and ended up resulting in another foul going to the line and shooting 3. It was a really nice pass to Harper, help him get going. So he made some key plays in the third, but overall, if you're talking about the totality of the game, his minutes are so inconsistent, so I don't even know what to say. And then you're putting him out of position. I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, I mean, when he's gotten opportunities, he could have done better, but he's getting none right now. You know, he's getting none. And it's also kind of weird, like sometimes when you have a lineup with him and Keldon out there, because you're kind of using them in the same way, but it just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I thought he was aggressive. I think he needs more than 0 rebounds and 0 assists. But he obviously did a good job getting to the rim, and it's great to have back.
A lot of your doubles in the fourth kind of came a little late, or maybe like a little soft, and they had
0 rebounds, 0 assists. Who are we talking about? I missed it. Dylan Harper? Are we talking about Dylan Harper?
Of how they wanted to pass out of them to get open threes. How long do you kind of let that go before you're like, we need to try something different, or you want?
Man, oh my God, bro. This is some good criticism. This is what we're talking about. Like I said, I'm gonna keep prefacing it, guys. I'll say it. I'm not gonna say I am not someone that goes on here and act like I know like everything. I have my opinions on things. And I think we can call some stuff out. And one thing I can call out since last season is lack of adjustments. And heck, it wasn't just me. It was Wemby who said it. Wemby said it last season. Like on many of occasions, we would go over these press conferences and he would say that there's not enough adjustments. So yeah, so here's some criticism. Listen up.
Came a little late, or maybe like a little soft, and they had a very good idea of how they wanted to pass out of them to get open threes. How long do you kind of let that go before you're like, we need to try something different, or you want to just tell them like, hey, get your act together, we got to be more aggressive on point with these?
I think a lot of it was, miscommunications or bad rotations out of it, which then led to it being open. You do it late in the clock because it's hard, if you start scrambling for 18 seconds, it's hard to chase the ball that long. So a lot of times, we let the clock go down. So then hopefully if you're connected, once the ball leaves the double, then you only have to chase for, somewhere between 4 to 8 seconds if you do it properly. And if you're connected on the back end, know where your rotations are and communicate through it, you should be a little bit more able to still have a contest and some resistance. And there was some real break.
The question was, when do you change things up? In other words, when do you have, and he also said, like, when do you have that timeout, talk about it, take some guys out and adjust? That's what he asked. He wasn't asking for an explanation of why they were bad. He was saying they are bad. When do you adjust things? And then your answer is they were bad and this is why they were playing bad. Okay. Okay. What? I don't understand. One thing I noticed about Mitch Johnson, and maybe he got this from Popovich, which Popovich had the luxury to be able to do this. And what that is sometimes he wouldn't always, because we know those times when he wouldn't. But sometimes, a lot of times with Pop, he will let the team figure it out. Right? Like he'll leave guys out there. He'll leave the big three out there, even if it's pretty bad. And when he took him out, let's be honest, he wouldn't take him out for that long, but he would keep them out there. And you can do that when it's a team full of vets, or when you got guys like over the age of 30, and Spurs were considered an old team at one point, a boring old team. You can do that. They'll figure it out. But when you have like younger guys on the team, you can't do it that way. You can't just leave them out there and be like, okay, they're going to figure this out. I think that's the reason why it takes so long for us to call a timeout. Shut up, Chandler.
And they made us pay.
I want to ask what the rule is, but do you have some sort of rules for when and how your guys are supposed to double, or is it just by feel someone thinks they have a moment, they go for it?
In what situation?
Like when Keldon would come over to double.
You just mentioned it. He just mentioned the double.
And on the elbow, or like when Julius would be in the middle and they decided to like double. Like, do you have specific like time, personnel, stuff like that you're looking for them to go for it, or is it just like if they feel like this is the moment to double, they should go for it?
Yeah, it's a pretty layered question and answer. I'd say best I could answer would be there's definitely rhyme or reason to everything we do. Sometimes that's predicated or manipulated and dictated on what I say, and sometimes the players make reads. And regardless, we should be able to be connected and work through those things because they're all practiced and discussed and taught prior to.
Man, it was one. I don't think it was this game. Maybe it was the last game. And man, it would have been a really good play. Carter Bryant came over for the double, and that was not part of it, but he came over for the double team, and he almost got it from Jokic. I think Jokic caught him at the last second, and that would have been nasty. Man, that would have been nasty. Anyways. Clan, what's your thoughts on this rotation? Starters: Fox, Devin, Julian, Sochan, Wemby. Bench: Harper, Castle, Keldon, Barnes, Cornette. I like that a lot. I actually like that a lot because Castle is really great as far as being the second guy, or not the second guy. I'm sorry, that make me sound like I'm dismissing him as a player. Like, he's a really good player, but he's good as a combo guard next to a facilitator, and he can facilitate on occasion. That makes him really good. And then as far as Keldon, obviously he's been doing his thing. Play him in the short post, and then Barnes and Cornette. I like that a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of Sochan being out there with Keldon because both of them like that short post, and it just doesn't pan out that well. Like, I don't think that they play off each other that well, honestly. But if you put Sochan out there with Wemby, they play off each other perfectly. You have Keldon come in, do his thing, and a lot of effort there in the bench. And this also brings a lot of what that rotation you got right there. That also brings a lot of balance too, right? Like, you have two great defenders in Sochan and Wemby. You have a good defender in Julian Champagnie who can also light it up at any given moment. And that can just adjust from night to night on how often you play him. And then obviously Devin has to be the shooting guard next to Fox. That's just a good lineup right there. Fox can utilize the screens from Sochan. Wemby's not the best screener in the world, but Sochan gives you some really good screens. And then off the bench, Harper and Castle can really give you some hell. I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't like whatever we're doing right now. Like, this I know that we don't have Wemby, but bro, I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't liked this starting lineup forever. Like, I do not like this starting lineup. It's kind of messy. It's a little messy. Yeah, it's a little messy. So, I like that though. I like that one a lot. I think that's probably the best situation you can go with. You can still find some minutes for Carter Bryant. They need to either play him, bro, or he got to go to the G League. Like, he needs reps. He needs reps. Alrighty. Sochan could then be the Timu Draymond that he is. Man, if he's a Timu Draymond, that's pretty doggone good. All right. But yeah, I like that more. It's just more balanced, man. This nonsense we got going right now where Sochan comes in at center and then we play him with Keldon X amount of minutes, and it's just ugly, bro. It's just ugly. We could have a better offense, I think. But I don't see in the near future Mitch Johnson making that move or the guts to do that. More than likely what happened is Wemby comes back, and then Castle comes back, and Champagnie's instantly out of the starting lineup. That's all that's gonna happen. But yeah, Sochan needs to be a trade piece ASAP. If Sochan is as bad as you guys think he is, who wants him then? If you think that you're gonna get something really good, who wants Sochan if he's as bad as you think he is? Also, this would be like a pretty bad time to trade Sochan, honestly. Trade value will be lower, or they will be, at least teams will be able to point towards like, oh no, he's not as good this year, right? And then it being on basically an expiring contract, which you got to figure out if you're going to extend him or, give him another contract. So you're just in a bad situation with it. You got to play him. But you also have to have the foresight to see like how he can help the team, because he is a valuable piece. He can give you a lot of value. You need to get him. You need to give him his swag back. He brings that nasty. He brings some nasty to your team. But we'll see. I don't know if Mitch make any adjustments. I mean, dang, we just watched a press conference in which he just blamed the team for everything. All right. All right. Well, it's nice to see Dylan Harper. He was great today. I mean, as far as taking advantage of the mismatches, His plus minus was horrible, but I mean the whole team's plus minus, other than like a few bench players, was pretty bad. But overall, man, I really liked seeing him get to the rim. Right, we haven't had a guard. I mean, obviously we got Fox now, but we haven't had a guard since Tony Parker to get to the rim the way Harper can. And the way he utilized his body, he reminds me of Parker. Not obviously he's bigger than Parker. You know, it's not. There's a difference in play style, but just the basketball IQ around the rim and getting around centers might look a little bit different, but I do like the fact that he's able to really utilize what he got. You know? Yeah, I don't know if you're talking to me. All right, so before we take a look at this, big shout out to Sleeper. So if you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. All you do on here, you go to Sleeper, you go to the middle section that says picks, and you make your picks, man. Oh, you think this player have more than 5 points in the first quarter? That's kind of crazy. I'm going less. Michael Porter. Oh, I guess he's been doing it. I'm going to go less. I don't know about that. Cameron Johnson. I say, I'll go plus. And you add that all together and you can make yourself some moolah. So if you guys are interested in that, go check it out. When you support the sponsors, you support the channel. So go to the description box and go download Sleeper. Okay? All right. Let's take a look at what Dylan Harper had to say here. Take it away, young man.
What did you guys talk about in the fourth quarter? Where did you see that one sort of get away?
I mean, they made shots. We didn't. I think on the defensive end, obviously we could have cleaned some stuff up. But at the end of the day, you know, they made shots. We didn't. So, you know, we just look forward to playing at home now. We just obviously remember this one, but, you know, we go with the mindset.
You know, I know Mitch Johnson said this, and now Dylan Harper saying it. The whole, like, they made shots and we didn't. I get it, but, like, who took shots on our team? You know? Like, I mean, Harper, you went 8 for 12. Devin Vassell went 10 for 20. Fox went 10 for 15. Keldon went 8 for 13. And then when you say they made shots and we didn't, I mean, I suppose, I don't know. I guess it was Devin. Just the team as a whole, there were so many players that just didn't take shots at all. Sochan took 2. Carter Bryant took 1. Olynyk took 4. Lindy Waters took 1. Luke Cornett took 1. Or, well, I guess he took a few more. He got fouled. I don't know if it was 2. I think he was attempting a shot on those. I don't know if they were in the bonus. But yeah, I don't know. It just Devin forced threes. Devin always forced threes. Yeah, Devin always forced threes. So I guess you can say Devin and Champagny didn't make shots. I mean, 1 for 9 and 1 for 6 from 3. I guess that's what you mean. Or was Harrison was 1 for 4 or 1 for? Yeah, Harrison Barnes was 1 for 4.
So, you know,
so a few players had the green light. No one really took shots. Tough shot maker. He is a tough shot maker.
I'm just going to win another game.
So look forward to playing home. You're home for like 36 hours.
Like 24 hours. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's the extreme road experience been like for you?
I mean, I guess this is my welcome to the league moment. I mean, we've been on the road for what, 9 days now. We about to go back for I don't know how long we about to go on for, but just, you know, the hardest thing for me is just packing. Honestly, packing enough clothes. I think that's something that's very underrated. Where, you know, thank God I went to Portland. I was able to go to Nike, but during this road trip, clothes been running tight.
You get anything good at the clothing store?
I mean, yeah, just Nike Techs, some sweatsuits, stuff to get me by. So.
As each game goes by with you, since coming back from injury, are you feeling your kind of explosion is there?
Is there a chemistry problem or coaching problem? In my opinion, Tane, I would say that it's more so coaching, which causes a chemistry problem. Because I think when you have certain guys out of position, or you're going with like funny, silly lineups sometimes, it's really hard for them to get in a rhythm, right? And then defensively, you know, that takes a lot of chemistry. That takes a lot of communication. And when guys are just kind of in and out of the rotations, it's just really hard to grasp. Because, I mean, there were so many defensive plays that I felt like Carter Bryant, as excellent as a defender he is, sometimes he looked a little lost, you know? You know, Dylan Harper went out there a few times. He's a good defender. He's not a bad defender by any stretch of the imagination. He had a hard time, you know, navigating. So I just think guys, not only because of injuries, but also coaching as far as not putting people in the right positions, you know? It's a little frustrating. But you gotta lean on that strength. Defense should be our strength. You gotta lean on that. And I mean, as far as like trying to outshoot or outscore these teams, you're not gonna win playoff games like that. We won't be that type of team. I mean, that's just the reality, right? As much as I do think that, you know, Sochan has improved his shooting. I think he's like 37% from. I think he's 37%. Hold on. Oh my God, it went down like crazy. He's 32%. Sheesh. I guess those couple games of just missing them went down like crazy. Never mind. Well, kind of adds to my point. So even though some guys might, you know, be a little bit more consistent as of recent, like overall, it's been, we don't have a shooting team, you know, like we just don't. Harrison Barnes, I think he'll be more consistent, especially in a playoff scenario. Julian Champagne's going to be inconsistent, right? Like some games he's going to be on fire, some games he's not. And that's just the type of player he is. He's a good 3-and-D player, but he's going to be up and down, right? Devin Vassell, same thing. He's going to be inconsistent. De'Aaron Fox, while he can shoot threes pretty well, he's not necessarily a 3-point shooter, right? You know, you're not going to utilize Cornette's ability to shoot. I mean, he hasn't done that since the beginning of his career. Kelly Olynyk, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him much after Wemby's back, how our lineup's been. Lindy Waters, they don't leave him out there that often because of defense, right? Keldon Johnson, he can be pretty inconsistent. I already mentioned Sochan, right? Like, yeah, so you don't have a shooting team, and what you could lean on is our defense. But unfortunately, our defense kind of stinks right now, especially the perimeter defense. We're one of the worst in the league at that. So, yeah. I think it's up to the coaching staff to kind of figure that out as far as defense is concerned, you know? Wake up call, clan. Oh, for Sochan? Yeah. I think I haven't looked at his stats. I think it was the last, let me see. I think it was the last few games where he really put up a stinker from 3. What was it? Yeah. This stretch right here, this 4-game stretch, yeah, that's what killed his percentages. Because it was pretty high at first. But, yeah, it's okay. It'll get back on track.
Is there and everything is sort of getting back up to speed?
Yeah, definitely. I think just, like you just said, getting back in a rhythm, know where I need to be on the floor, and just, honestly, my teammates do a great job of just putting me in the right spots to win, and I just go out there, play my game, and I just try not to overthink it. But these games is definitely helping me getting back to myself.
What do you think they did?
Also, it was a stretch in the fourth quarter that I don't necessarily think Dylan Harper had to be in that game. And it probably would have been more beneficial to have Fox in that situation. But overall, I did like him being out there because we're going to need him. We're going to really need him. He's a really good player. We're going to need him. The more reps, the better. I mean, this is crazy confidence game. I mean, the fact that he can – the thing is, he went into the chest a couple times of Rudy Gobert. I mean, if you can just go into the chest of Rudy Gobert and, like, kind of score around the rim at will, I have no doubt that he can do that most of the time with most teams. You know? Our downhill slashers, playmakers aren't shooters. Our shooters aren't defenders. Outside of Wemby, Dev and Julian are neutral defenders. Our 2 rotation bigs and Sochan and Cornette aren't shooters at all. Well, yeah. That's why when that chatter brought up, you know, that's why I think balance is really important too. Ooh. Wait. because that chatter brought up earlier that he was like, hey, Clan, what do you think of a starting lineup with Fox, Devin Vassell, Champagnie, Sochan, and Wemby? That's one where you have a lot of defense and you also have, some shooting. Right here, this starting lineup right now, which, I mean, we don't have much control over because we don't have Wemby, but even yet and still, I'm not crazy about it, is where's your real advantage here? If you're not knocking down your shots, where's your advantage? You don't really have much of one at all with this. You know what I mean? What are we leaning on? You can have balance while also having possibly one of the better defensive scenarios. But like this, not really, It's okay, not really. I don't know.
Towards the end to sort of limit what you guys were doing in the paint. It seemed like you were scoring really well in the paint in the first 3 quarters of the game.
I mean, I think their zone kind of hurt us a little bit. I think just for us, we just have to adjust.
Oh, the chatter was me if you're talking about the lineups. Yeah, sorry. It was Vinji.
It's on the fly, whether they go zone, man, whatever. We just got to figure out what's best for the team and just double down on it. But
Vinji knows ball. Hold on, Vinji. You know ball. Those who know ball become moderators. You're a moderator now. I know you don't want this. You didn't ask for this power. But you're getting it. Whether you want it or not. I'm going to go a little further back on this.
we're thinking. But these games is definitely helping me getting back to myself.
What do you think they did towards the end to sort of limit what you guys were doing in the paint? It seemed like you were scoring really well in the paint in the first 3 quarters of the game.
I mean, I think their zone kind of hurt us a little bit. I think just for us, we just have to adjust on the fly, whether they go zone, man, whatever. We just got to figure out what's best for the team and just double down on it. But I'd say definitely the zone.
That's crazy. Yep, got to figure out what's better for the team, best for the team, and just double down on it. Yep. All right, hold on. I'm making you a mod. Add as moderator. What kind of powers am I going to give you? Can block words. Can review and remove chat messages. And put people on timeout, yeah. All right, Vin. Don't abuse your newfound power, okay?
You guys did a lot of doubles in the fourth quarter. They passed
Glenn.
out
Hey, Mars.
pretty well. But what's it like doubling in the NBA? How do you make those reads, and how do you do those recoveries having to sprint around?
I mean, it was the best 450 players in the world. I mean, everyone can make shots. You know, obviously you got the superstars, but you just, when you go to double, it's like you got to pick your poison. Are we going to let someone go for 30 and have their way, or are we going to try to make other guys beat us? But, I mean, credit to them, their team. They all got some great shooters.
Thanks, Dylan.
I'm going to tell y'all this right off the bat. If we're continuing, well, we'll have Wemby, but if we were to continue with some of the lineups and rotations that we got going on against the Timberwolves, is a matchup nightmare for us. Because I do not want to go tit for tat shooting with that team. I don't want to do it. Didn't Anthony Edwards have like the most made threes last season or something like that? Like I'm good on that. All right. So what things looking like? What things looking like? I know I seemed a little negative, but I expect to lose it. It's okay. Let's see what we got coming up. So we got the Grizzlies. They'll come to play, but we are better than them. Far better than them. Highly better than them. We got the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic isn't. What they doing? Oh yeah, that's right. They were doing well when Paulo came out, right? Is he still out? I always thought Sochan did a good job on Paulo. I guess he's still out, right? How long is he out? Oh my God. Desmond Baines had 37 points the other night. All right. They were 17% from 3 the other game. We should be fine. So we got the Orlando Magic. They're a good team just down right now. Yeah. Then we got Cleveland. Then we got Pelicans. But we should have Wemby back possibly in the next couple games, but we'll see. We didn't hear anything yet. He was supposed to be reevaluated on the 29th. Didn't hear anything back yet. I'm actually going to ask about that. And then if they still say he's not good to go, then it was word on the street that he'll be reevaluated on the 6th. So maybe what we'll be seeing is, let's see, versus then they're on the road. I doubt they'll wait that long. This is a cup game right here. We'll see what happens. Oh, that gap between December 10th and 17th is going to kill me. I'm not going to be able to deal with it. Yeah. OKC 3 times possibly. What the F? What do you mean? In the cup? Yeah, like you possibly going to play. Oh, wait a minute. Is the gap there because of the cup stuff? Is that why the gap's there? No, the gap. No. When is the cup? It's the 13th, right? I think that's why the gap is there. Yeah? Oh, okay. That's why the gap's there. So it's the 10th and then the 13th because you're in Los Angeles. Not Los Angeles, but Las Vegas. If we win the cup. Oh, okay. So we'll have the 13th. So the 10th, 13th, and then it'll be another game before the set. Oh, okay. All right. We should beat the Lakers. I don't know. They're going to be tough. Grizz, I don't care. Need him for Magic or Cleveland. Well, he'll have to be on the road with us. You'll probably... Let's see. Don't we have a back-to-back soon? Oh, okay. You might see him in Orlando. That might be a good game to bring him back. Because, yeah, like you said, take out Memphis. You don't need him. And then you got Orlando on that back-to-back. Because they might not want to play him in a back-to-back right now. But we haven't heard anything. I haven't inquired about it. I'm going to ask. Inquired about it. So I'll ask. Whew. No more Sunday games? The 21st. I am looking forward to that Christmas game. I'm going to be ready, bro. I'm going to be so ready. I'm going to have such a good time. I'm going to be so ready. Anyways. Moving on. Sorry about the loss, guys. I don't enjoy losing. I hate to be the person just be like, I expected to lose. I kind of did. I kind of did. So, it is what it is. All right, let's see here. Ooh, your boy got a shave. Look at that. I'm going to shave tonight. That Christmas game last year was my favorite game last year. I don't even remember the Christmas game last year. And OKC. Man, could y'all imagine? I want OKC to... I actually don't, but I want them to win the rest of their games until Christmas. I want them to be on a mean winning streak until they face Wemby. OKC fans talk a lot of trash. They talk a lot of trash. That would be dope. Yeah. Wemby gonna show out. Wemby shows out for those primetime games. On Christmas, he gonna show out. It's really nice because everyone gets to see how great Wemby is on Christmas. Am I crazy in saying that I enjoy Christmas basketball more than football Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving football? Is that a crazy thing to say? Yep. No. I think it's because I hate my Cowboys now. We did win, though. We did win on Thanksgiving. I did see that. Guys, pick a player. Who should I put? It probably should be Dylan Harper. I ain't going to ask y'all. I was going to say who should go into the thumbnail for tomorrow. It's Dylan Harper. Yeah, Dylan Harper for sure. Yeah. Cowboys been winning. Well, I got the first look of the Cowboys this last Thanksgiving game. I know you can call me a fake fan. Guys, I've been boycotting them for a minute. But I watched them because my older brother was watching. So I said, hey, I'll watch it. I'll watch it with you. I didn't find myself feeling the joy that I feel when the Spurs win a game or nothing like that. Okay, so it wasn't nothing crazy. But, you know, I was quite impressed because I thought that they looked a little bit different than the Cowboys that I'm accustomed to seeing. And what I mean by that is it seemed like the playmaking or play calling was actually quite good. Now, should I go as far as to say they're going to be this, they're going to be that? I don't think so. I think you still lose first round because that's what they always do, and I'm not going to get my hopes up. But me seeing them, I said, well, dang it, they do look better than what I'm used to. Play calling has been really good, I thought. Or in that game, it was really good. Cowboy clan is back, baby. Nah, calm down. Nah, calm down. I don't love him that much. I don't believe him at all. But I will admit that they look better than what I thought. And I've always trusted Dak, so that was another thing. Like, people talk trash about Dak. I've liked him since day one. I thought that he was a very good quarterback. I just trust him. But just good play calling, I thought, throughout the entire thing. The Cowboys almost gave it up at the end of it. But overall, it was just some good play calling. Not too cute, but, you know, cute enough to keep the opponent on their heels, you know? It was good. Now, to be honest, though, Patrick Mahomes has some receivers just missing catches. Like, it was like perfect pinpoint passes, and they just drop it. Like, I don't know. Like, we got a little lucky sometimes. Micah sucks. Micah Parsons? Micah sucks. What do you mean? Micah's incredible. Yeah, I wish we had him. Our wide receivers are really sick. I was actually shocked. I didn't know about the second receiver. Like I said, call me a fake fan. I don't care. I admit I have not been watching them for years. I boycott it. And the thing is, I would never boycott the Spurs if they, you know, do what they're doing. It took a long time for me to just say I'm not watching the Cowboys no more. With the Spurs, you have a good front office, and they're always aiming towards winning, aiming towards giving us a good product. All the time they're doing that. So it's very hard for me to sit back and say, you know, you guys need to do this, you guys need to do that. Like, I don't see it that way, because they were constantly making good moves, calculated moves to give us a winning team, and they're continuing to do that. And we still got draft capital going forward. So Spurs been doing a great job throughout. And so even when we were a trash team, we were losing a bunch of games, I still was happy with the direction we were going in. I didn't jump on the, you know, Brian Wright sucks bandwagon. Like, I was like, no, he's good. He's doing everything he can. But can't you say that with the Cowboys most of the time? Jerry Jones' ego is kind of crazy. Go Colts. I was pulling for the Colts in 2006. Was it 2006? That Colts championship. They didn't win another one, did they? I don't think they won another one. Because Peyton Manning won a second one, but with the Broncos, right? 2006, 2007? Oh, okay. I was cheering for him. But the Eagles can talk their team actually can talk because their team actually wins, unlike the Cowboys. I don't fight with any fans no more, man. On that side, I don't care. They're right. They win. no excuse for the Dallas Cowboys, a team that everyone wants to play for. And you can make so many deals because so many people want to be there. That's a dream coaching. Well, because of Jerry Jones, maybe it's not anymore, but that's ideally will be a dream coaching job for any coach. And the fact that they haven't won a championship since the 90s is disgusting. When everyone around them have won championships, been winning championships. The Giants, the Eagles. I mean, teams that people just like, what the heck? I mean, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, you got, like you guys mentioned, the Colts won one. You got, like, everybody won a championship. Steelers, your rivals, they've been winning. They won some. Like, inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable for you not to be in those positions. Man, the day Jerry Jones croaks is the day the Cowboys probably start winning again. Probably. A ton of Cowboys fans weren't even born in their last championship. It's sad. I don't even remember it. I was like 1 year old the last time they won a championship. I didn't even turn 2 yet. Horrible. All right. I'm hopping off. I will get with you guys later. I appreciate all the love. I'll see you next time, okay? Everyone have a good night. Wait, when is the next time I see you? I know we played Grizzlies, but what is it? Is that Wednesday? I actually didn't check. Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday. Oh, that's going to be a weird one. Yeah, so we'll go live Tuesday. Then we'll have a video for Wednesday. It probably just need to be a react to the press conferences, and we'll post that on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night we'll have another. Yeah, that's weird. Then after that, we play what? Friday? Or then we play Friday. Okay. We got a lot of Spurs basketball coming up. Heck yeah. All right. See you Tuesday. Bye. All right.